So at St George's, we aim to support our local mission partners in a number of ways. In prayer, which we've done this morning, financially, where we can, and also different congregation members have different roles within some of the different mission partners that we support. And we invite each of our mission partners to come once a year to give us a bit of an update on what's going on. And this year, or this week, we've got Ben from Leeds Faith In Schools. So Ben, over to you. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with Leeds Faith In Schools and how we can be supporting you.
Great. It's wonderful to get the chance to join you this morning. I always love those moments where the day in, day out of my life and my team's life, we get to kind of share it with others. But I wonder if you'll humour me for a moment by just having a look around the room this morning at this gathering of wonderful faces. What would our churches look like if 62,000 young people in this city were to hear the gospel and start to walk in faith? What would our church's shape change to look like if we saw a generation follow Jesus? That question is the question that keeps me up at night, that kind of drives me day in, day out. And so often as the church, we can spend a whole lot of time coming up with new strategies and innovations to reach a generation, a new model, a new approach, a new way to do that. But in many ways, I think the simplest call on us is to be present where our young people are at. That's where they need us to be, is where they feel at home. And the incredible privilege we have in this country and the incredible opportunity we have as the church is that in this city, 62,000 young people are legally obliged, much against their will and desire, to be in a school from Monday to Friday. They're a captive audience that we have. And for 30 years, Leeds Faith In Schools, born out of vision here in this church, has been serving young people in our schools by trying to take the gospel into those school communities, to be a consistent and credible Christian presence in our high schools. We want to see a generation encounter faith, and for 30 years we've had the privilege of doing that. Now, what that looks like day in, day out is really hard to explain, because the answer is any means necessary is kind of what sums up what we do day to day. Sometimes sharing the gospel with young people is the compassion of being there for them in a mentoring session, being there one-to-one to listen to them, to hear them out, to care for them. Sometimes it's standing in front of an assembly hall full of young people, sharing our testimony, bringing the Christian faith to life, helping to make faith relevant to those young people. Other times, it's working to make spaces for young people to feel welcomed and accepted so that they have somewhere to belong. We have the loneliest generation we've ever had. That's what the stats are saying. And actually, by making space for young people to belong and feel accepted, we're creating an environment where they're seeing the gospel lived out. And so for Leeds Faith In Schools, day in, day out, our team work in all those different ways and any other way that we can think of to be present and part of the lives of young people in this city. This year has been an exciting one. We're 30 years old, which is amazing. And as we step into our fourth decade of serving young people in this city, lots of exciting things have happened. In September, we launched our work in a new school over in Pudsey, Priesthorpe. That means that we're now serving 9 schools week in, week out, with one of our team on the ground and present and part of those communities. We were really privileged as well to welcome Bishop Aaron as our new patron of our work, championing our work around the city and helping us to grow into more communities to serve more young people. Our team has also grown to a team of 7 this year, with the addition of Emma and Becky, who have joined our team at different points in the year. And we're really excited as well to start to feel God giving us some vision for some of the new aspects of our work, which I'm not going to talk in detail about, but some new areas we feel God speaking to us about that will enable us to be present and part of young people's lives in deeper ways. Now, the reality is, though, that this is a big job. 62,000 young people. We cannot do this on our own. And this vision that we carry, it actually isn't ours anyway. It's the church's. It's our vision as the church to reach this generation. And so we're so privileged that for the past 30 years, St. George's has faithfully stood by us, practically, financially, supporting and enabling our work. But you might be wondering this morning, maybe what is this that you can personally do to see that 62,000 young people hear the gospel? So first, for some of you, that might be to commit to praying for your local school community. Now, that might seem like a small thing, but that is huge right now. Our education system is cracking. And if you were as bold as to reach out to the head teacher of your local school community and say, hey, what can I pray for? I promise you the response you would get would blow you away, because they are desperate to see something shift. And to know that local Christians care about their community would mean the world. So maybe you might want to choose to commit to praying for your local school community. You might want to support in a more practical way. One of the things we are really privileged is that we go into schools with and alongside the local church. We have a brilliant team of volunteers who support with mentoring in some of our schools, giving an hour or two a week just to listen to a young person. One of the most valuable things I think we can do for this generation. Other volunteers help us with our local community youth work drop-ins, which are growing, and we're hoping to launch more of those in this coming year. If you can operate a toaster and listen to a teenager for a few minutes, you qualify. So I would invite you to come and join us and to get stuck into engaging with some young people in your community, especially if the teenagers wind you up because they're always hanging around, getting up to no good. That is precisely the moment to get the toaster out and to build some connections with them. And thirdly, this year we set ourselves a big challenge of increasing our giving by £30,000 over this year. Now, you guys have so faithfully supported us over many years, and we're not setting this goal for ourselves just to slow the stress-related greying of my hair. We're doing it because there are so many schools in this city where we're having to say no right now. And we want to say yes. We want to be able to say, yes, we will come and be part of your school. We want to say, yes, we will play a part in your community. And so if you'd like to find out what that yes might look like, I'm going to be hanging around at the end. And there's loads of schools connected both to St. George's and other churches in the city where we would like to be present and part. But I want to come back to that 62,000 young people. As you go away from here today, I hope you will begin to think on that question in much the same way that I do day in, day out. What would it look like for the church to see a generation of young people not only hear the gospel, but start to live in its truth? That is the call to all of us as the church. And thank you for standing with us as we try to play a part in that here in this city.